So the weather's getting colder, and who doesn't love pumpkin spice? I'm going to show you today how to make this pumpkin spice charcuterie board, perfect for your fall gatherings and for Thanksgiving. That was a little bit too crumbly. Okay, so I love the idea of making a board like this because you can make it ahead of time so that it's one less thing for you to do when you're hosting. This channel is dedicated to making you a more confident host. So if that's something that you're into, be sure to hit like and subscribe. So I'm going to be showing you how to make a couple of different recipes here that are on this board. This pumpkin spice pumpkin pie dip is delicious. So I'm going to show you how to make that. And then also this pumpkin spice trail mix, which we never seem to make enough of. Guests just gobble this up. So I'm going to show you how to make that too.
Let's start with a pumpkin spice trail mix.
Preheat the oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, gather your ingredients. You'll need pumpkin spice seasoning, shreddies, various nuts, pretzels, pumpkin seeds, raisins, chocolate chips, brown sugar, and butter.
Okay, so in here we've already got our 4 cups of shreddies, and to that we're going to add the 2 cups of pretzels, a cup of plain peanuts, a cup of almonds. Now these almonds I've already toasted in the oven just to release the oils in them so the flavor comes out. And then last but not least, we're going to add to this about a cup of pumpkin seeds.
So in a microwavable bowl, I've got half a cup of butter, and we're just going to melt that really quick.
Okay, so now that the butter is good and liquidy, we're ready to add our other ingredients.
Now we're going to add a half a cup of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of the pumpkin spice mix. We're going to get that all stirred up and combined.
Now we're just going to add the butter mixture into our mix. Give that a really good stir.
So do yourself a favor before you put this mix in the oven is you're going to line your cookie sheets with parchment paper. And I want to show you this parchment paper trick. So sometimes the parchment paper is like a little too big for your cookie sheet. So all you're going to do is take the parchment paper and scrunch it up and then lay it back down on your sheet. There we go. You're going to divide your mixture between 2 cookie sheets. And when you're laying them out, you want to make sure that the ingredients are laying flat. Halfway through the baking time, give the trail mix a quick toss and then put it back in the oven to finish cooking. So our trail mix was nice and toasty. It's now cooled completely, and we're going to move on to the finishing touches, which are to add 1 cup of chocolate chips. I like to add dark chocolate because I feel like dark chocolate and pumpkin spice goes really nice together. You can also use white or milk chocolate, but personally I like the dark chocolate. And then a cup of raisins. And I went with golden raisins just because I thought they were like festive and the colors of fall because they're kind of like that orangey. And we're just going to stir this up. And there we have our trail mix. Okay, seriously, this pumpkin pie dip is too good for me not to share. And it's super easy to make. It's one of those things that you can make ahead of time. So if you're hosting, you can cross that off your list. But everybody just loves it. It is, I feel like the taste of fall. So good. Let me show you how to make it.
We're going to start by blending the cream cheese and the brown sugar. Next, we're going to add the pumpkin puree and a tablespoon of the pumpkin pie spice. Now that that's done, we're going to set this aside. In here, we've got our cup of whipping cream, and we're going to blend that up until stiff peaks form. There we go. Now that it's the right consistency, we can add it into our pumpkin mix. So the next step here is to just gently fold this whipping cream into the pumpkin mixture. There we go. So now we're just going to store that in an airtight container and refrigerate it. And just before we're ready to serve, we're going to add a little sprinkling of pumpkin pie spice. This pumpkin spice dip is so good. You can serve it with either graham crackers or ginger snap cookies, or you could even serve with slices of apples.
Now that the dip and trail mix are made, it's time to start assembling our board. I'm using things like pretzels, apple chips, cookies, and caramel corn. For the cookies, we're using Biscoff, ginger snaps, graham crackers, and these awesome maple cookies. These apple crisp chips are delicious. I found them at our local Dollar Tree, and they're made from real apples that are dried out, and then they're drizzled with a little bit of white chocolate. They're the perfect addition to our board. To start our pumpkin spice board, I like to start having all the ingredients close by and at hand, so that makes it easier for me to start arranging it. So first things first, we're going to start with the largest items. So in this case, it's going to be the brie cheese, our pumpkin spice dip, which I'm going to show you how to make. And then these waffle bowls make the best and the cutest little bowls for charcuterie boards or food boards. I thought they were a fun addition, and our pumpkin spice mix is going to go in there. Next comes the apple chips. Next comes the pretzels. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to perfectly arrange them. They could look kind of nice when they're a little bit messy. It's looking good. Now all we're going to do is fill in some of those holes, some of the spaces with caramel corn. And then for a little touch of green, we've got this fresh thyme. So there you have it. It could not be easier. This pumpkin spice charcuterie board. Again, perfect for your fall gatherings. I know your guests are gonna love it. Now, if you need a little extra help when it comes to hosting, I'll put in the description below a link to our Joyful Hostess crash course that has got all the tips, tutorials, guides, checklists. I'm telling you, everything you need to become a more confident host and make it really easy for yourself. So I'll put it there. No pressure if you want to check it out. Check it out. And until next time, happy hosting.